Today's episode is going to be Season 1, Episode 7, The Dumpling Paradox, and I like to explain where we get the titles from in each episode, and today we're going to do that just a little bit different. I'm going to explain it when we get to it in the recap. So the episode starts off with Leonard, Sheldon, Raj, and Howard in the apartment. They're going to have Halo night. Sheldon is a little distressed that they're late getting started, and as they're trying to figure out what to do to make up the time that they've missed, Penny comes in and explains that she's a little frustrated with her friend having come to visit from Nebraska. She really didn't invite her, doesn't really want her there, doesn't really have room for her, so trying to figure out what to do about that. In the process of explaining all this, Penny basically says that her friend's kind of loose and will pretty much sleep with anybody. Howard hears this, so he immediately takes interest and actually leaves the apartment and goes to introduce himself to Penny's friend, leaving everybody behind. And of course, this makes Sheldon upset because now their teams will be uneven for Halo night. Leonard suggests that they have Penny play. Sheldon objects at first, but when Penny proves that she can play very well, they agree, so they decide to play teams in that format. Part here that's always bothered me, Penny says she blows off Sheldon's head, and I guess it means just figuratively, because they're playing Halo, and as far as I know in Halo, you can't actually see someone's head getting blown off. It's not that graphic. So they play. Sheldon gets frustrated that Penny's actually very good at the game, and eventually they finish playing. Penny decides to leave. She goes back, but quickly comes back because she hears Howard and her friend are sleeping together in her bedroom. So naturally, Penny doesn't want to go back, so Leonard offers that she can sleep on their couch in their apartment. Immediately causes Sheldon some additional distress. He doesn't like the idea and expresses a few reasons why he doesn't think Penny should stay, but reluctantly agrees after Leonard continues to push the issue and kind of mocks his complaints. He goes over his bathroom schedule with Penny, telling her what time he'll be in the bathroom, which means she should definitely not be there, and needs to plan her bathroom time accordingly. Penny starts setting up her bed on the couch, and Sheldon has another complaint. He doesn't like the way she's choosing to lay her head, saying that normally humans would automatically choose to lay with their head away from the door for safety. Penny asks if there's anything else, and Sheldon gives one of my favorite lines in the episode, and that's that if she uses his toothbrush, he will jump out that window right there, and not to come to his funeral. I think this is hilarious. So everybody heads off to bed, but they seem to have forgotten that Raj is in the kitchen making a sandwich. They shut off the lights, so Raj just does the natural thing and lets himself out. Penny hears the door open and close, and suddenly decides Sheldon might have a point and changes her direction. She's laying on the couch. The next morning, Penny's sleeping on the couch. Sheldon is trying to start his normal Saturday morning routine, but can't because Penny's in the way. Leonard comes out. They're having a discussion about it. Penny wakes up, surprised to find out that it's only 6:30 in the morning, and why is everybody up? Howard enters wearing Penny's robe, which she tells him he can now keep, and I don't blame her one little bit, and gives some unwanted details about his time with Penny's friend Christy. Christy soon enters to ask Howard if they're still going to be going shopping, and Penny basically asks her when she's going to be looking for somewhere else to stay. Howard offers her to stay with him. Sheldon's satisfied with this. He wants Christy to go with Howard, Penny to go back to her apartment so he can try to salvage what's left of his Saturday morning. Penny here also does try to warn Howard that Christy is basically taking advantage of him, and she will basically continue sleeping with anyone who will continue to buy her things. Howard sees this as very good news for himself and says he's going to go cash some bar mitzvah bonds. So here's where we get to our title moment. Raj, Leonard, and Sheldon are out for Chinese food. Howard would normally be with them, but he's not because he's obviously with Christy. And Sheldon is not sure how they can order without Howard because normally they would get 4 entrees and a dumpling appetizer, but without Howard, they need to eliminate 1 entree, and they will have 1 extra dumpling. And how will they divide this? For most people, this would be a simple problem to solve, but not for Sheldon, which is one of the things that makes him a very fun character. They try to come up with multiple solutions on how they can divide this, and none of them satisfy Sheldon. We even try to get some help from the waiter, who is played by actor James Hong. Very talented actor, so it was a fun appearance in this episode. He offers to only bring 3 dumplings because maybe 1 fell off the tray and nobody would know, but Sheldon says he would know. We also get another indication when they try to come up with another alternative that Raj does not like Indian food when Leonard suggests to go get that. Ultimately, we don't know if this is ever resolved because the scene ends with them not ordering any food. So then we are back at another Halo night, and Howard is again unavailable, so they decide to try to ask Penny to play again, but Penny is busy. She's going dancing with her friends. This upsets Sheldon, but she goes anyway. He tries to call Wolowitz, but Wolowitz doesn't answer. So they go to his house where they overhear an argument between Howard, Christy, and Howard's mother. This is actually the first time we hear Howard's mother, who we don't really get to see in the show except for a few glances much later. But she is a very important character to the show, and this is our first time meeting her here. After Howard walks out and the argument continues between Christy and Howard's mom, Christy basically says she doesn't want to put up with this and leaves, and that seems to abruptly end their relationship. We end the episode back at the apartment with the guys finally having their normal Halo night. It's a funny scene here where we see Penny come in with 4 of her friends and say they'd like to sleep with the 4 of them, and they don't even hear it, they're so into the game. But after they leave, Leonard pauses the game, asking if he thought he may have heard something, but then they go back to playing. So this is a fun episode with a few key takeaways. Mainly with Sheldon, we see a lot more into Sheldon's obsessive behavior here. In the beginning, we see that he's upset, with timing when they're starting game night late. He's very displeased with this. Also, when Leonard invites Penny to play, he doesn't like that because it throws off their normal routine. He's also unwilling to play with just 3 people. A little bit later, he's upset by Leonard trying to invite Penny to stay the night. He doesn't like a throw off to any of his routine. And in the morning, when Penny's there, she throws off his Saturday morning routine. He doesn't like this. All throughout the episode, we see more and more examples of this, and it's just developing that character of Sheldon, that he is just one very particular, obsessive, compulsive person, and he doesn't like any changes to his normal flow of routine. Even learn in this episode that he goes so far as that he has a very specific bathroom schedule that he's going to be in there at that time every day. We finally see Howard have a little bit of success with a woman for the first time, although it's because she's a very easy woman and he's willing to spend some money to get what he wants. And the other key part of the episode, as we mentioned, is the introduction of Howard's mother, who plays an important part in many episodes to come, so that was very fun for this one. All in all, a very strong episode. I give this episode a score of an 8 out of 10. Thanks for listening, as always. If you like this video, please give it a like, please subscribe to the channel, leave some comments, and share the video with others. Thanks for listening, and keep an eye out for the next episode coming soon.